Let's roll.
Joke's on me. Joke's on me. I muted myself. Kick speed. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dude Let's Draw. Today, I'm going to be animating with a pro animator. They're going to be coming on in a little bit to help me out. And we're going to have a good time. We're just going to sketch, we're going to draw, and do what we do. So, if you guys are new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you want to draw with me or us or any of the like, feel free to grab your notebook, your sketchbook, and then share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. Go into the community tab and we'll have fun. So, I am being a little troll gremlin for now. I'm going to warm up, and I want to make a more or less like a trucker goose. I'll make it, yeah, a trucker goose. He's a trucker, but he's a goose. And like, I think it would be just fine and dandy while I warm up to make basically a Frankenstein's monster of a character and then draw it. So my friends and I were just talking, and we were like, hey, what if Dylan the Fox, and if you guys don't know Dylan the Fox, this is short in my YouTube shorts, and we have Dylan. He is, I said a million trillion times, is a fox, and he's just chilling at a bakery. And I don't know, I wanted to make puppet animations. I like making puppet animations all the time because it brings me joy. By the way, everybody, welcome. Thank you for coming. Let's see, where is Dylan? Dylan the Fox. Okay, where is he? I put him here the other day. Oh, it's embarrassing. You know, you put stuff in order and then you move things around and all this crap happens, right? Let's see. Is this it? That's not it. Anyway, aside from that, I wanted to make like an amalgamation, like a big old Frankenstein's monster. So tonight's animation, I'm going to see when our guest comes, he's going to guide me through refining things, smoothing things out, and that's basically what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to design this little crazy goose stereotype trucker guy, and then I'm going to animate with our special guest. He is awesome. He's a professional graphic designer and animator, and hopefully more people will come. So I'm excited. All right, let me get this going. What would it? Ooh, a guy with a mullet. Like, yeah. Hi, dude. What's animation? The animation will be pretty random tonight. So if you're animating, or if you don't know where to get animation software, by the way, you can, if you have a computer, you can download OpenTunes. It's free. And if you're on the phone, I believe Flip a Clip is on your phone. It's free. You have to use your hands, though. There's also, if you are on, you can use Krita, also on PC. What else is there? My brain is farting. Oh, if you have the iPad, you can use Procreate on the iPad too, if you want to animate. Or I haven't used Procreate Dreams, so from what I understand, people are having trouble with it, so maybe avoid it for now. But just listing out stuff that you could possibly use. I'm getting all these crazy things here ready. I'm just gonna set my people up. So now I'm gonna get rid of his face. We don't need that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like quickly draw, and then just to warm up. I gotta warm up. So like, think of it this way. If you're running a race, you gotta warm up before you run your race. Oh, goodness. Car. Oh, my dog. Yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight. So let me get it started. Yes, my sweet little baby boy. My little sweet baby boy. All right, let me move myself. I'm moving. There I am. I'm moving up here. Now I got my pencil ready. It is ready. There we go. I'm going to move further back. There we are. So I am going to leave this. It's a Canadian geese. Listen. From what I understand, Canadian geese are just not friendly. And I'm going to just mess this all up, make it a hot mess. So if you have like pictures that you want to smash together, by all means, do so. I'm going to make sure that the brush is good. So I'm just going to erase and cut him out. And then I'm going to import him into Photoshop, not Photoshop, my animation program, and then go from there. So, but yes, it's good to have you here. Ooh. Alright, what I'm gonna do is sketch him. This is what I want. There's the trucker. Here's what I want. Here's the trucker, right? And I want the... What is this? The mullet. I need the mullet! It's beautiful. A goose with a mullet? Like, come on now. Kill that. He's already looking beautiful. Like, look. Come on. So I'm gonna draw it really quick because I gotta see. So I'm gonna map him out. What do you got? What do you got, doggy? Yeah, it's fine. Sorry. ADHD moment. Ha ha. Come on, computer. You know, I hate when I get pop-ups and stuff randomly. It drives me insane. All right. So what I'm going to do is for this little goosey goose right here, I'll take the pencil and I'm going to make it darker. Oh, no. Get that goose going. Give him a frown. Get a big old cheeks. I gotta take the mullet off. I can't take him serious with the mullet on. And then his neck ends here, right? I'm going to give him this guy's body. I'm going to have to shrink it. I don't know. Just trucker Canadian goose sounds great. Ah! But then I will put them. So what I'm going to do after I design this, I'm going to put each piece together. Piece by piece. So I'm going to take the head, the body. So I'm going to get him real good. Hi, doggy. Yay, my baby. There we go. Get him all nice in there. Maybe make his neck a little longer. There we go. There we go. And here. There. Just a little longer. Put his body like this. We got the man boobs. I should trigger. Hey JP, welcome back. How are you today? I'm working with I'm supposed to have a pro animator come on and jump on with me. He's been a friend of mine for over I guess 15 years now. So, but right now I'm making Trucker Duck. What projects are you working on lately? I have been sincerely like off the rockers, pulling some strings here. So, yeah, get them suspenders. Awesome. Yeah, man. And don't think I have not forgotten about you. Once my quest is done, I am going to reach out to you if you are cool with that. I just need a bit. Duck feet. Look at that. Oh man, he needs that nasty, the nasty duck nose thing. We need that mullet. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We need that mullet. Mostly big stuff, development stuff. Bro, yeah. Mood on the big stuff. That's cool. Alright, let's see if I can't get muscle arms on this. Development stuff is good. Alright, awesome. Alright, what type of feet should he have? Should he have goose feet? He needs trucker shoot. He needs trucker pants. He needs trucker pants. Trucker pants. I think the tough part about wanting to do group projects with people is management and trying to like get a flow of what's right. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Plotting some animation productions. Awesome. Awesome. We love plotting them out. Let's see here. That done. I want that trucker face. I needs the beard. I wonder if I could take this beard. Let's see. This looks so bizarre. What kind of feet would he have? man, being a part of a production is always a joy. I've only been a part of a few productions, most of them being small. I wanted to be part of a big one, but some guy was really weird about it. Like, really weird about it. Like, we're talking... I was trying to... This is a long time ago. I was trying to get an interview with Blue Sky Studio when it was not bought by Disney, and this guy kind of like didn't help and then threw me down, and I was like, okay, but what would take? Then I met somebody who lifted me up, and he was like, yeah, we'll get you in, just come back at me. But he ended up moving away. He ended up getting a job with DreamWorks. So, but it was okay. That was so long ago. So I ended up just sticking with small productions, and for the most part, I ended up, you know, learning from other people who used to work on like TV shows, and just getting tips from them there. Tips, tricks, and the like. NDAs signed everywhere. I'll say, let me get the, let me get, what, we need a trucker vest, right? Oh, wait, no, we need jeans. Trucker jeans. Oh, we need that hat. Ugh, okay, first of all, we gotta put this mullet right here. I'm gonna put the feet in. No! Command D. Put the feet in. Command D! Diesel edit. Okay. I feel like he needs... I don't know. I might change it to shoes. DreamWorks, that was very big, yeah. Yeah, DreamWorks, this dude was a programmer. So, the first person I spoke to about working at Blue Sky, he was an animator. And then when I did my research, I'm not going to speak bad of Blue Sky, but when I did my research, I heard that it had high turnover. So, and the guy who was talking to me about, the first person, he's talking to me about how, like, oh, animation's a young man's business, you can't fault, you work long hours, but I love it. And he kept talking about himself, and I was like, ooh. And then when I tried to contact him again for, like, maybe an internship or a position, he never got back to me. Yeah, we need Duck Guy, the trucker. He's gonna fight Dylan the Fox. Let's see. I might make two, like, side by side. Oh yeah, look at this. It's night and day. He's beautiful. But I need him to have... Let's put him side by side. I'm glad you think it's funny, because we're gonna put him in. I think I'm going to leave this Photoshop Jerry... Sorry, mullet. We need the mullet right over here. Yeah, look at that. Okay, I'm going to say photo. I said photo here. And then... Oh, man, you know, because he's a bird, he needs a couple of the, right? He needs a few wings. What do truckers have? Do truckers have belts? Yes. He needs a trucker belt. America. Get that American trucker belt. What else is he missing? He's missing... Part of me's like, he's missing a pack of cigarettes. No, he needs that trucker hat. Give me that trucker hat, baby. Does anybody in chat have a mullet? One mullet equals... Or do you know a friend with a mullet? Let me know. I really want to know. I kind of want to know. Dear Diary, I found a mullet. Yeah, look at that. Yes, this is what we're doing. What did you do tonight? Photoshopped a trucker duck with a mullet. I love character design. I just want to do some puppet designs with this. What's up, Nighthens? Sarah has many friends with mullets. Oh my god! Yo, for real, Dizzle? Like, is that the in thing you kids do? Me, like, knowing you're not a kid. Knife hands, it's always a pleasure. When you grace the stage. Look at this beautiful McDucklet. With a mullet. Don't forget, if you guys are new here, let me know in the chat. You know, like and subscribe, don't forget. But I'm waiting for my animation friend. I'm about to bug him. I want him to talk about his animation experiences. I have some other animation friends I'd like on too. This hat isn't right. What's a good, like, the stereotypical trucker hat is either, is it the red one or the blue one or the, what is it, the Buc-ee's? The Buc-ee's trucker hat. Yeehaw! Trucker hat side view. I'm watching on my TV, so can't chat, but we lurking. Yeah! We got some lurkers. That's what I'm talking about. Trucking hat goose guy. I can't find my Dylan the fox, but we got Trucker Gooseman. He's not just a truck, but he's also a goose. Wait. I said it wrong. Oh my god. I said it wrong. Trucker Gooseman. I love it. I gotta just, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm just gonna come up with his origin story. So, like, Trucker Gooseman, he's a Canadian geese. He's very proud. He's just, because he's a goose, he's just proud of being a goose. This is such a better hat. It's just gonna be 10 sizes too big. Yeah. Woo, doggy, Trucker Gooseman. There he is, folks. He's ready with his big gulp. Oh my god, I gotta get a big gulp in here. We're having fun now. Getting the big gulp. I don't know a trucker that doesn't have a Stanley Cup or a big gulp. Alright, let me move this goose face. Let me move this goose face over here. Let me tell you. I'm having a good old time, I'll tell you what. Alright. Someone's like, you can't talk like that. Well, I do voice acting, so I can do whatever I want. And yes, I have done, like, a Southern Belle. It was awful. Oh, no. I gotta get a big gulp. Big gulp. Yeah. Big gulp travel cup. Has anybody actually finished a big gulp in one go? I want the stereotypical one. Woo! I want a stereotypical big gulp cup. Yes, I do. Yeah! I'm getting into it. Yeah, this'll do. But I want a white and red big gulp cup with the big old straw. Where is it? I'm looking at references, if you couldn't tell. Well, this'll do. This'll do. But it's gotta be big, because he's a trucker. He's ready. He's ready for the gulpening to begin. Bam. Let me check if my special guest is coming. Let's see. All right. I'm just sending out a call. Gib Plug. He's getting a big gulp. Yes. It's gotta be backwards. He got a misprinted cup. The cup is half the size of him. My name is Gooseman. I drive a truck. I like driving and trucking. What's your favorite accent? Oh, hello, Susie Q. My favorite accent, that's really hard because this is bad, but sometimes I like stereotypes, but to voice act, not necessarily to be mean, but because of my life experiences. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Hold on, my face froze. My face froze. Alright, so here's an example. Like, some people know, like, people who know me, like, they know I like to just mess around. So the voices that I come up with, especially when I'm auditioning, I think about the people that have come into my life and just have done something strange, right? So when I was little, growing up in Queens, staying at my grandma's house over the summer, and there would always be this dude. He was like this big black guy, and he'd be like, "Get off my grass! I'm telling you, girl, if you don't get off my grass, I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna get up my chair and I'm gonna come after you. Don't mess with my grass." And I'm telling the truth. We never went on this man's grass. Never. Because in Queens, there are like brownstones. They're houses, but they're all connected together. There's like a condo or whatever. And my dude would always say, "Get on my grass. Kids, I'm about to take the belt down. I'm about to chase y'all down the street. Get off my grass." And we would always be confused because the brownstones were like elevated. So, okay, imagine there's like stairs and there's like, I'm just going to draw it. Okay. So in Queens, it would be the brownstone building. I'm just going to zoom in. It would be like the brownstone building, right? So you have, let's just say, your house. This is in Queens, New York. All right, you have your house. You got your windows here. You got like other windows up here as well. Cool. Here was the door. The door had like elaborate patterns on it, and that was the front. And this would be the yard. Like, you'd have the front yard, and then there would be stairs. Like, my bad. There'd be stairs leading. Bad perspective. Whatever. Hello, Project MGG. I'm just telling people about the story, like, some reasons why I voice act and stuff. So, like, all this would be, let's just say, cement. And this would be grass right here, right? So the dude, I always, like, think of him anytime they're like, "Okay, can you voice a little boy or, you know, like a cranky old man by chance?" And I'm like, I mean, sure, So I just think of this man, and I don't remember exactly what he looks like, but he was just like this older black dude, and he'd be like, "Get on my grass! I'm telling you, children, get off!" And he'd be like, I think he had vision issues, but he looked like, I'm trying to go from memory. Like, he had like, has anybody seen the Boondocks? He looked like Mr. Stink, a little bit like Mr. Stinkmeaner. He was like, he had really long earlobes. He had like hair missing. And he could not see. And he was just like, "Get off my grass. That girl, if you don't. So like he'd be sitting in the house, not our house, but like all the brownstones kind of looked like this. And they were all, just so you know, they were all connected together. Really nice neighborhood. It's really cool. Dude would just sit with the door open and just start yelling, "Why is the ruler tool on? Goodbye. God." Okay, but yeah, my favorite voice is just like trying to be like, "Baby girl, get off my," just weird weird stereotype. Do I get to do it all the time? No. And sometimes ditzy girl. I like doing ditzy girl. People like that. I don't know. Like the whole, like, "Oh my God, how does this work? Like, do you push a button or something? What's this called? A Nintendo itch? Oh my God, you're so funny." Yeah, I got hired to do that one time. That happened. Yep. So my life's interesting sometimes. All right. I'm calling this guy Trucker Gooseman. I gotta find Dylan. We're gonna make a story for this guy. Where is this? Let's see. August? No. Here it is. There he is. Okay. It's a fun story. Yeah, man. Like, I got some fun childhood memories. It's just, I think New York back in the 90s, early 2000s it's a pretty fun place. Now it's just so-so. But I love my New York because I can't not go back. I always have to go back because, like, so many fond memories, so many good relationships I've made, so many fun people, you know. Where is Dylan? Dylan. Is he here? I don't think Dylan is here. That's not Dylan. Alright, forget it. Born and raised there. Oh yeah, NYC. I was gonna say, where are my NYC babies at? Da, 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 da. I'm not gonna lie though, I couldn't live there. I feel like I had an opportunity to, and because I was working there for a little bit. It was just very stressful. I didn't know how to manage my stress very well there. But man, so much to do. Trucker Gooseman. All right, let's clean this guy up. Wait, what other stereotypes for the trucker goose? And I mean this in a friendly way, by the way, not a, like, it's a goose. Wow, I made his hat. His hair looks like ramen noodles. Oh man, okay, here we go. Which hat is better? This one? Nah, the red one's gonna do it. The red one just does it for me. So now I'm gonna take this guy and I'm going to save it. What's up, Moggy boy? Welcome to the stream. I'm just making a hot mess. I'm making a trucker goose. Why? Because I can. Tell me, chat, if you could do, let's just say, voice acting, what voices would you make? A, and B, where would you want to work? Because I'm going to tell you, voice acting is very broad. I get paid the most in voice acting for, like, commercials. Oh, it's Jeremy! There you are! I got you, bro. Let's see here. Alright, let me go help you, buddy. What I'm gonna do is try and drag you in to... Let's see. How can I drag you in? Here's the professional... Baja Blast... Jeremy. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna try this. Let's see. Add you. Come on. Add you. Give me a second. 1 moment. Commercials. Oh yeah, for voice acting, commercials, radio. You'd be surprised. A lot of cell phone applications need voice acting. And people just eat that up. I am a puppet character. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you Jer. I was a puppet for an app that would teach you how to play guitar, and sometimes they have good directors for voice acting, and sometimes they don't. All right, we got him. We got the juice. Can you hear me, my friend?
Okay.
All right, we got you. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Are you on your phone or your computer?
I am on my computer.
Beautiful. Okay, what you're gonna do? You're.
Wait, who's talking? Are you talking to me live?
Yeah, we're live right now, baby boy.
Oh my.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna bring you into the drawing server. So I'm gonna try and drag and drop you because I have different tabs. One's called Drawing Buddies. I'm gonna end this call and then go into my server and go to Drawing Buddies. I don't know if I can call you from there, but if that doesn't work, that's okay.
Okay, I had to mute the live stream because it was giving me a double effect.
Yeah, mute the live stream. It's okay. It's okay to mute.
Okay.
All right. 1 second. Okay, folks, I have my friend Jeremy on the line. He's a very profesh animator. Let's try to get him back. This way we could get some animation lessons going. Okay, let's get him in here. There we go. Can we get him in here? Oh god. How do I do that? Ugh, I know, awkward, right? Let's see. Open the chat. There we go. I have to baby feed people sometimes. It's okay. Come on. Welcome, by the way. Welcome. Those who are new. Be patient with me. Give me a second. Okay. You know what? It ain't working. That's okay. We're gonna do it live right here.
Okay. How do we get the...
Okay. Well, we can get it to work. Did you upload your image to Fugitech? Okay. In order for that to work, you have to be in my server. So click my server name, the Dude Let's Draw server, and then click Drawing Buddies. Can you do that? Yeah, double click in there, and you may pop up on stream. So give it a try. Yeah, there you are. We're doing it. We're jumping in. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is, by the way, if you guys ever want to do PNG tubing, you just go to Fugitech. Make sure you have a Discord server, and it's right there. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is add you, and then we're good to go. So in the meantime, while you do that, why don't you introduce yourself? I was telling everybody all about you, but not enough about you. So, oh yeah. Don't be shy. Just, who are you? Who's the man? Who's the professional voice? Not voice. Who's the professional animator?
Jeremy. I've been animating since I was 15 years old. It's a long while. Went to school many years ago. Studied it professionally. Since then, I've done work for some telecommunication companies over the years, mainly instructional videos. I've done stuff for YouTubers as well. I actually animated a pretty lengthy 9.5 minute long animated story. I've also done graphic design in the past, lots of motion graphics as well. So I've also done a lot of interactive media stuff as well. So it's a lot of different things I've done: graphic design, animation, character animation, motion graphics. Also have a background in 3D.
Awesome.
Yep. So I've done some architectural renderings in the past as well. So it's a lot of different things I've done. As Jen's mentioned, I've
God,
done a lot of animation stuff.
God, gotta call me Yoko.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yoko. This is my first live stream, so I know Yoko very personally. I've known her for many years, over 20 years.
It's been 20.
Yeah. So.
Ah.
Yeah. So I've done. You know what? I lost my train of thought. Well, that's okay though. But basically, I've done a little bit of everything. 2D animation. Well, sorry, my bread and butter is using Adobe Animate. So before it was called Animate, it was called Flash. Before Adobe bought it, it was called Macromedia. A short little history snippet, but I've been using it for a very long time. It's been my most well-known software. I know it very well, and I like to do a lot of visual effects in there. So animating lightning, fire, wind, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember like you were showing me like a demo of it, and I was like, "Dang! What game are you making?" Crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, and yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. So,
That's
been around for a
awesome.
while, but yeah.
That's awesome. So I wanted to also talk about like, okay, a lot of people want to know about animation, how to animate, like what are the like where do you get started? A lot of people want to know where to get started. And like, does it have to be Disney? Does it have to be straight up mainstream? What do you think?
Well, the first thing is find out what really moves you. Okay, like what do you really are interested in animating? Do you want to animate characters? Do you want to animate letters? When I say letters, I mean stuff like motion graphics. The field of animation is very broad. Okay, you have motion graphics, you have character animation, you either have something called animating visual effects, which is like fire, lightning, dust, that sort of thing, water. So it's a broad range of things to get into. So before you decide to get into animation, which I would assume most people got into animation because they like to watch cartoons
Yeah.
or animated shows or anime, right? So maybe you want to do that sort of thing, right? But even if it's something like that, what style do you think you would rather do? Okay, and cater towards that style.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love watching Avatar when we were younger. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay,
Yeah.
so look into what's the studio that did that work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
with the power of what we have now at our fingertips, which is the internet. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not a dinosaur yet, right? But the internet has changed so much in the past 25, even 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find out anything you want to find out about anything.
Yeah.
So have some sort of focal point. What do you want to get into? Do you prefer the whole Pixar look? Okay. Or DreamWorks animated movies. Then maybe you want to go into 3D animation.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
do you want to work in commercials, doing 2D work, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you want to be part of a team involved with creating hype videos for, an indie game or a low budget game.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
want a hype trailer, something that's only like 30 seconds to a minute long. There's animated music videos
Mm-hmm.
people can work on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do the research before. I understand people want to get into animation, that's great, but do the research. Find out who are the studios that make these things that you love so much, right? Whether it's something from Japan or
Mm-hmm.
something that is done in England or some part in Europe, right? And then once you get that a feel of something you really want to do,
Mm-hmm.
look and see where the education, what kind of education you can get for that type of field. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
is it someplace local,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is it an online course?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can take something comprehensive, right? So I don't want to open a can of worms right now, but there is so much information out there about animation, and some of it is very good, and some of it can just compound you and make it very confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of YouTube animators now more than ever. Some are very good. Don't get me wrong, um, and and I'm not gonna say some are just subpar or not great, but I think what you have to be careful about is, are you watching the videos to be entertained, or are you watching videos to get education? Two
Yeah.
separate things,
Yeah.
you know.
Definitely.
And that's fine. You want a little bit of entertainment, that's fine. You want to follow someone that has a nice foot into it, and you like how they communicate with you. That's perfectly fine. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about what you really want to do.
Yeah.
I love to do fire and lightning and that sort of thing. That's my bread and butter. I love that sort of stuff. So I focused on that for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I've gotten very, very good at it. I've got books on it.
Yeah.
So, and for those out there listening, you know, books are nothing to sleep on. Okay, you can find a lot of good quality information about how to animate in books.
Very, very
That
true.
Because if you think of it this way, right? If you have a decent author compiling a book, they're probably compiling 20 plus years, if you're lucky, of experience into one source. Comprehensive. It goes from A all the way down to Z, right? And it's all their knowledge imparted onto on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And a book can be a very useful resource. So there's a lot of books out there. There's the Animation Survival Kit. There's Elemental Magic, which is one I love personally for special effects. Um, there is The Illusion of Life from I forgot the name of the author, but it's basically like a Disney Bible,
Oh, I got
right?
that. I got that one.
So,
uh,
and one thing I'll clarify, when it comes to animating,
mm-hmm.
right? I learned this the hard way through a grueling project, only in the past 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
is that when you're animating, especially characters, you're not animating movement. You're drawing the character in a series of poses to simulate movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's how you got to think about it. You're just drawing poses. That's it,
You know,
right?
you know what's sad? I feel like Only recently, actually, when I was making comics, that's when I started to realize, like, oh my god, that's exactly what you said. One of the viewers has said, Glitter, she also, you did, I don't know if you met her. I will explain after stream, but she went to the same school as we did. But you know what happened with our school. So it says, she's saying, I enjoy watching people animate that too. I know Rubber Ross's group of animation friends does some killer animation. If you haven't seen Rubber Ross, Jeremy, I would recommend, because they don't mess around. they do some killer stuff too.
Okay.
With some special effects. I brought you on because I wanted to explain to people that there are some wonderful, helpful people out there, and you have always been a great, helpful animation buddy. Nobody else has been able to help me understand things like you have. You break things down, you know the elements and basics, and I doubted myself. Like, there was that, like, I'm going to explain the time. Like, remember the time when I came to you in class and I was just down. I was like down in the dumps because my final project was not to what I thought was standard. It looked like a early 2000s Flash animated cartoon. And I was panicking. I couldn't focus. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know where I wanted to go because I was being brutally discouraged by somebody who at the time thought was my friend, but obviously they were not. So
call him out.
Yeah, call him out. I don't want to say his name ever again.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but he was a jerk. And this dude sat with me. I'm gonna open up Adobe Animate real quick. He sat with me, and then you sat with me. And that's the wrong one. Okay, and you went over explaining, like, okay, these are the keyframes. What here, you can import your stuff here in the library on the right. Our teachers told us, and if it weren't for you, because it was taking me so long, our teachers told us to go into Adobe Illustrator to make your Flash animated characters and import them in, because that's what people at Cartoon Network did, which is not true. I spoke to some people at Cartoon Network. They were like, are they on crack?
Right.
But you straight up just draw directly in it. You do things traditionally. That Elemental book that you were talking about, I could see it. I could see the work that you put in. So I'm going to put up on the screen what you helped me with. So Jeremy knows a lot about timing and spacing and the 12 was it steps of animation, keys of animation?
There's principles.
12 principles, yeah. So we went with the ease in, anticipation right here, surprise, stretching, and going back to normal again. I never understood that. And yes, Glitter, they like, to me, I feel like they messed us up. And I didn't really start learning until I started working, right? And I think you would agree that when you get a job or you have somebody who believes in you, you start learning way faster, way more strategies. Like, it's just sitting with you for like 30 minutes. Wow, bang, this is amazing. So what say you, my friend?
Well, I will say this, right? As a personal thing for me, I like to help people out, right? I remember a lot of times when I was going to school, I was helping people out with everything that I could. And yes, our school wasn't the best, right? I remember being in a classroom where I felt I knew a little bit more than the teacher in some areas. But what you said though is you learn from doing,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
learn so much more. And I had a unusual connection with animation. When I was growing up, I used to watch my favorite shows in slow motion to figure out how they
Mm.
used to animate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I come from a time where I recorded my shows on VHS tape and watched it frame by frame until it solidified in me.
Those were the
And so
days.
those were the days. So, but with that, I was able to, okay, that's why I can look at an animation that's running at full speed, right? And notice if there's an issue with it.
Yeah.
My eyes are sensitive to that sort of thing. Now, I have an innate ability to want to help people out, right?
Yeah.
And I truly believe I'm not the only one. As long as you go out there, you talk to people, maybe on forums or something else, or someone that you really admire, just ask them. Say, hey, you know what? I really like your work. What do you, you know, what do you think about this animation? What do you think I can do to improve on it? You know, if you come with us this kind of humble way that you're truly looking for help and assistance, I don't see why not. You know, maybe they'll say, hey, you know what? Here's something you can look after or look into. There's a book that you can look at, or check out the tutorials on this one website. You know, so
Yeah.
for me, it's I always like to help people out, right?
Yeah.
That's a very that's a personal trait that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I fortunately too had a lot of knowledge of Flash before I came to high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't know a lot more than most people, and I saw people being frustrated with the program. I'm just like, I've been there, done that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think with animation in general, people I don't think it's quite as gatekeeping as possible as people make it out to be.
Oh
I
yeah.
think people want people to get better,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
want talented people in the industry, regardless what industry it may be specifically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have to do your best to get the right information to get better,
Yeah.
right? Because the last thing you want to do, not to confuse everyone, right, is you practice badly over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Making the same mistakes over and over again. So you want to gather as much information, and as corny as it may sound, knowledge is power,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
much information as you can,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's understanding anatomy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I say anatomy, okay, let me be clear. I'm not talking about just muscles,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the way how the joints move, okay?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
way more important than the muscle groups, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because look, for example, you have this character here. You have a shadow. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have muscles per se, right?
Yeah.
But understanding the makeup of the on the neck connects to the rib cage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how the spine connects to the pelvis,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how those appendages stick out from the main torso, right? And how they bend, right?
Yeah.
Understand the rules allows you to break them.
Yeah. I
Okay.
I notice not to like get ahead of you. When I teach, especially when I'm like teaching anatomy with it's exactly the same thing, but I notice everybody messes up on the three elements that I very common with the beginner artists, and it was always the chest, the
Mm-hmm.
the length and width of the arms, and our beloved hands. Our beloved hands. We'd always mess up on them. And
Right.
and that's fine. But I noticed every time they did it, because we did an exercise, and the exercise would be, this is one thing I wish I practiced, but I'm going to tell everybody on stream. If you suck at drawing, as long as you get your foundations of shapes, you're going to be just fine. Like, I ended up having people just do the stick figure forms of human beings every class, and by the time they were done with 6 weeks, they could do it on their own. They could figure out the anatomy. Plus, we have Illustrator. Well, I don't use Illustrator, so I mean, we have Procreate now, and we have. Right. I'm using Clip Studio because I like the brushes in here the most, and you can just manipulate it like as I'm doing now, and then you'll understand the depth and the perception and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I had another thing. So, what was a project that you really liked working on animation wise?
Let's see. I mean, overall?
Yeah, let's just say overall. Let's just say overall.
Okay. Ironically, it was the one I disliked the most too.
Really? Was it the 9-minute one?
Yes.
But it was so good. Oh my god, I wish I could just bring it up. Did he ever post it on YouTube?
He did post it on YouTube, but the person who edited the footage together skipped some of my frames and animation, which I was not happy with.
No.
That's exactly how my brain felt when I watched it. I was like, dude, I can't get over this. But maybe another stream I'll show it.
Yeah.
I have the original file, but that was probably the most challenging and frustrating, but rewarding and enlightening project I've ever worked on. It was brutal. It took me way too long, more than a year in my life. I had to learn so many things, in that process.
Yeah.
Because mainly I was like this special effects animator. I would draw, my fire, wind, ice attacks, magic spells, right? But that taught me a lot. It taught me how to draw very quickly. It actually helped me discover a very simple art style that I can use. And I used it in two separate. I used it actually recently. One to draw this little avatar you see bouncing on the screen. I drew that this afternoon.
Yes, my boy.
And I just finished the illustration just recently for a client, and she really, really loved it. And so, but here's the main takeaway, because I was doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't afford to just procrastinate on it. Okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't afford to say, oh, I'll work on this later. So here's one of the main things you should do, right?
Yeah.
Is that you start something and you finish it. Okay?
Oh yeah. That's this year. This is this year for me. So
yeah.
I feel like I'm relearning how to animate all over again. I know I could do it, but I ask you specifically for feedback because you understand tweening. I wish I could just show samples, but maybe on another stream, where the ease of the actions that your character's hand movements have. Like, for instance, if I'm doing the Macarena, I know you didn't draw the Macarena, it's smooth, know? But because you had, if I had to show a preview of your animation, it was the part where he was in the school and everyone's going, nerds! So, again, guys, can't show it on stream just yet, but, another time. But it was the acting. You had really good visualization skills on the acting. And I am taking those elements for myself and now applying it to when I animate now. And I don't care if it looks bad anymore. I'm going to fix it later because here's how animation was explained to me. This was in school, okay? It has to look good. Period. And yes, it eventually has to look good, But then I was told it has to be good immediately. That's go ahead.
I hate to interrupt you, right?
Yeah.
It's animation should look believable.
Yes.
Okay, that's the idea. You're trying to believe that this character is moving around, right? You're trying to convince the audience that these 2D drawings are someone that's walking, breathing, talking. Okay, because technically you can have an animation with a very crude looking character, but still have excellent principles of anticipation, follow through, ease in, ease out, staging, right? And the style, because you can draw a style that's meant to look, not appealing,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right? But that's the look you're going for. Maybe you want to disturb the audience a little bit, right? It's more about making sure it looks believable.
Yes.
And how do you get like it believable? You make sure you have some of the principles in the actual animation itself, right? And I'm looking here at the chat. Glitter Chan love smear frames. Smear frames are a great way of showing some very snappy movements. All depends on what you're doing. If you want to show some sort of fast action, right? You can just put a smear frame in there. If you look at some of the old school animations from Warner Brothers,
oh
right?
yeah,
There's so many of those things that you probably wouldn't even notice unless you watch it frame by frame, right? But I can't stress on one of the best tools to learn how to animate is to watch animation in slow motion.
For real though. So I don't want to interrupt your thought. So I'm gonna put like a smear frame. I didn't understand what a smear frame was, right? Like this is for those of you who don't know, this is in who's watching. This is a smear frame. They look so funny, but I remember you were doing like a sword fighting animation, and you had used a smear frame on a sword, right? But like old classic Tom and Jerry Looney Tunes, as he was saying, does it. Even anime does smear frames.
Any animation does smear frames.
Yeah.
Even some not the cross, but even some 3D animated films.
Oh yeah.
Like they have the advantage of using motion blur.
Yeah.
Which is an illusion that most of us see in real life because our eyes can't catch up with any fast movements, whether it's cars or your hand moving in front of your face. So that's enabled a lot of 3D animated films, but for more stylized ones, right? We're talking like maybe in that new film, I think it's called The Lost Robot that DreamWorks is making.
Yeah.
Or The Bad Guys that DreamWorks made a few years ago. Or I think it was that the one with Puss in Boots, The Death Wish, or The Last Wish.
Death Wish. I mean, you're not wrong.
No, Death was in the show or something like that. I don't remember the name.
Well, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, but I'm not right either.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they deliberately added in those smear frames in there because they wanted that certain aesthetic in there. And I love what you have there as an example, by the way, on your screen. That
it's beautiful.
the one with Ash is amazing.
It really is. Yo, my dude done broke his arms. And yeah.
What they're really good at is giving you a sensation.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel it. Like, the guy's face is horrendous, but you're supposed to feel it rather than see it. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of an abstract way of thinking about it, but you kind of feel the momentum, you feel the motion that the character is doing, because that's only there for on twos for 24 frames per second, so it's barely noticeable.
Yeah.
That's the idea. One quick little story, like I remember only recently. And that's like in the past 5 years watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right?
Ooh, a good one.
I was late to the party. Okay, I had no idea how epic that story was, how fantastic it was,
Mm-hmm.
how well it was animated,
Yeah.
and I watched so many of those scenes in that. Like I watched it on Netflix originally, and then I found some clips of it on YouTube, and I went through it frame by frame because on YouTube you can do that. Just use the left and right arrows, not the keyboard arrows, but the
The greater than and less than sign.
exactly right. You can skip to frame by frame, and I rewatched some of my favorite parts, and I was surprised that there was a lot more smear frames than I thought. You know,
Yeah. It's funny because Gurren Lagann has so many. I got the. So,
mm,
going back to your books, I have so many books. I try to teach students, young and old, the value of books is still imperative because, yeah, you have the internet, but sometimes the books will have things complete and you have it. You're capturing the energy of that book. So they had smear frames of the robots fighting. And like the robot was about to punch, but as he turns, he's blurring, kind of like the
right.
Ash Ketchum one. Very
Yeah.
very close to it, but with, robots. I still haven't watched Gurren Lagann, but Oh, good night, Glitter. Have a great one. It's
Good
a
night. Good night.
But yeah, I think man, it's always good to slow down the frames. I tried doing that as a child, but I couldn't process. What am I looking at? Another thing is, what level are you at with art? You can be at a stick figure level, however, you understand motion. Or you could be at I can draw anime really well, but I can't draw action poses. So I feel like different levels also take into account in, what do you call it? Analyzing what you can understand to reproduce it. Does that make sense?
It does. Um, when it comes to the this idea of different levels, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can draw anime or action poses, right? What makes an action pose is understand the mechanics of the body,
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
and how weight is distributed, on the body, depending on if you're standing on one leg or two legs, right? And but I can't stress enough how important reference is to learning almost everything.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
even when these 3D animators say have to animate something like an action scene, like an actual action game, right? Say like some kind of action game. They'll look at footage of martial arts movies. Okay, like
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. They're not just coming up with this stuff out of thin air. Okay, use whatever resource you have to learn certain things. So if you want to do action poses, watch your favorite action movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hard because these are live action films. When you skip through frame by frame, you're only gonna see a lot of smear frames. A lot of
Oh yeah.
So, but really look and see how the body reacts, right? Look and see how the actor is reacting on the screen when they're stumbling. When they're going for a punch and going for a kick, right? You know, I personally think too, something I wish I learned when I was really young, um, was to really think of when you're drawing a character, you're drawing forms, right?
Yes. Yes.
They say that a lot in the animation books because you're animating forms, right?
Yeah.
And so once you understand that concept, right, you're gonna look at it as every part of the human body or the body, whatever figure you're doing, as maybe cylinders, right? Spheres, boxes, cubes, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there is tons of content about this stuff on YouTube,
Oh yeah.
right? But what does that really mean? Okay, that's another issue too, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I love that you pointed out books, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's certain content that you can't find online because it's copyrighted in books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? And once you have the book, you have it, right? Like
Yeah.
how you said, you can have it on your shelf. And don't get it twisted, right? Like books have been around for thousands of years. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I get the internet is great. We're using it right now. Can't complain. However, you know, it's also a distraction playhouse.
Yeah, I get distracted very easily, but I
You know?
try.
So having a book is comprehensive. You sit down, you read, you focus. It's gonna be difficult for some people, but I highly recommend that because you'll be surprised what you can glean from that sort of thing. You know,
Yeah. I
and
found, though, when I did read from the book, I learned Photoshop just by following the basics of that book. And now I can't
Mhm.
forget it. Versus,
Right,
I had a problem with when it was called Flash at the time. That one, although I started to learn it, I had trouble understanding it. Because videos can only do so much. Teaching in person does very well. Reinforcing what you learn through books makes you a god to an extent.
I think when it comes to learning software,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the complexity of the software, you're better off just following tutorials. And
Yeah.
now here's why.
Okay.
Um, I was when I learned when I learned Photoshop,
Mm-hmm.
it was pre YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any tutorial I found it on websites. It was through screenshots and them typing up the instructions, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned stuff the hard way because I had no one to really look out to or watch on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because of that, I learned all the little tricks and hints here and there. And I assume the Photoshop books were probably pretty good, pretty comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then when it came to learning something like Flash, I had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There were no tutorials online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's true.
I,
I will
um,
attest to that.
right. There's no tutorials online. Definitely before YouTube. I learned that from trial and error. Okay. We're talking looking at the help menu in that program. So I learned that in a very organic, unhindered sort of way,
See,
right?
that's how
And
you learned it, but I learned through relaxation. But when they were teaching us, I was afraid, fearful, couldn't focus because it was all about you're never going to make it if you don't look like Pixar. Every time, which is stupid. But
yeah, like that school. I wish I chimed in when uh Miss Chan. I can't say Glitter Chan for some reason. I'm stuttering her name.
it's fine.
Miss Chan, right? When she was talking earlier, because that school, which we not name, right?
Yeah, we
We don't
won't
use
name
this
it.
anymore, right? It We didn't have all the best instructors. We had some good ones, but not all the best. But yeah, there was a lot of like, oh, 2D animation is dead. There's no point in doing it anymore. And we're like, what are you talking about? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And then fast forward 20 years later, now it may not be a surplus of them on television anymore, right? But there's different ways to use 2D animation now. They're used for promotional videos,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or video games, which I like.
Me
Not
too.
everyone, not everyone may not like that sort of thing because it was an art form for telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still 2D animated stories happening left and right. Just now, there's going to be a new Netflix 2D animated show called Twilight of the Gods.
Ooh, that sounds good.
That's going to be very good.
Have you seen so YouTube? Because the animation industry, I was complaining about this last stream. YouTube has had an upsurge of fantastic animation. We're talking
Hmm.
400 million views over here. Lackadaisy Cats has been
Right.
Hotel. I watched the production of that as well. So you and I like to use things as education. This is another example of, yo, you want to animate or draw in that style of that character, you should look them up. We highly recommend that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, excuse my sore throat here, but
Oh, you're good.
um, what Jen is saying, Yoko is saying
It's
is
okay.
very true.
Yeah.
Is that kind of reinforces my point earlier. Give me 1 second, please. 1 second.
Yeah, no
I'll be
problem.
back.
You're good. You're good. You're good. So, like, in the meantime, I hope this is all educational. Because, man, you just never know what you can learn or discover by just trying on your own. Or, like, you obsess over the one thing. Obsess to a T. Dig deep. Like, you like Lackadaisy Cats? Find out who's the creator is. What art style the creator has. Study them. Trace them. Learn. And then go from there. Because that's how you start.
So yeah, I think I'll just add on to what Yoko said there at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
About this starting, right? I didn't hear anything. It was, I don't know for a second, but basically, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're starting and you're just doing it by yourself, it can get very lonesome
Yeah.
and discouraging, right? And may not feel like you want to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
But what is important is that you find the resources that you need, right? Which what I'm talking about is good ideas on how to draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone that you can look up to,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a mentor of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or someone you at least admire and you see how they draw, right? And if they're going to somewhat detail how they draw certain things and things of that nature, that's going to help you greatly.
Absolutely.
And then you have to practice, right? You really have to practice a lot, okay? A whole lot. And if you're somewhat social online, post your work on forums. Or it could be DeviantArt, maybe ArtStation, it could be whatever you feel comfortable doing, and look for feedback and see if they're able to, give you something. Let's say, oh, you know what, this looks good. Constructive feedback, by the way, okay?
Yeah, I was about to say, make sure it's constructive. If they say your shit sucks, then they're not helpful.
No, that's no good, right?
I didn't mean
So-
to curse. I'm trying not to curse on my stream, but that's just.
I was going to ask you, is that allowed or?
I shouldn't have said it, so shame on me.
Okay.
Just so you know, I usually just shoot for 9:00 to wrap it up, so we don't explode. Because I turn into a pumpkin around this time. So, any final thoughts, my friend?
Well, I would say hopefully I gave out some helpful information.
Yeah.
And I look forward to joining Yoko. Oh my goodness, so bad.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Personal. I know her for many years. Yoko in future streams, and I hope I can share some light on certain things for some people out there. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things, and if you need a little help with something, I'm here to, give you some of my time.
All right. Thanks, bro. Also, maybe next stream there is a program where we can all animate together. I was thinking about asking a few animation friends. What is it called?
Okay.
It's funny because people use it. It's free. What is it called? Hold on.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's gonna make me mad. I gotta say it. Free animation game. Sorry, I gotta do it. It is called. Okay. Dang it! I can't remember. Anyway, well, we'll come back to that. But yeah, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure. You've been very educational and helpful as always. You could stay on. I'm just gonna end the stream, but. You
want me to stay on?
You can stay on for just like a second. But say good night to everybody. If you haven't, like and subscribe. But have a good night, everybody.
Everybody, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
The button. I'm gonna press it.